Good, happy Friday morning, April 16, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Friday morning edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. It's time to arise and shine and get this Friday off to a good start. And grab that good cup of coffee and sit back, relax, and enjoy this Friday morning edition of The Morning Show with Riley King, where we have a little bit of everything for you in this program. So, let's begin. First up, we're going to take a look at your COVID-19 dashboard from Johns Hopkins University in Medicine. Let's take a look at that right now. And here's a look at that for all of you right now. Your global cases are 139,165,841. Your U.S. cases are 31,495,924. Your global deaths are 2,988,238. Your U.S. deaths are 565,289. That's a look at your COVID-19 dashboard from Johns Hopkins University and Medicine. Now let's get to some other news. First up, we begin with breaking news. Police say at least 8 people were killed in a shooting at an Minneapolis FedEx facility, and the suspected shooter killed himself. Let's take a listen to that video from early today, NBC News.
News reports of another mass shooting overnight, this time in Indianapolis. At least 8 people were killed and multiple others are hospitalized after a gunman opened fire at a FedEx facility.
Preliminary information at this time is that the alleged shooter has taken his own life here at the scene. After a preliminary search of the grounds, inside and out, we have located 8 people at the scene with injuries consistent to gunshot wounds. Those 8 were pronounced deceased here at the scene.
Authorities believe there is no active threat to the community this morning. FedEx says it is cooperating with the investigation.
For today's quick hits, NASA's Mars helicopter engineer.
Begin with that breaking news.
Okay, and there you go on that breaking news story. Daunte Wright's family demands accountability. Former officer in court. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
This Bud Light Seltzer lemonade is packed with lemonade flavor.
Yeah, it even has more flavor than my grandma's lemonade.
That Minneapolis trial, the hearing in the other case this nation is watching for the former police officer now charged in the shooting death of 20-year-old Daunte Wright during a traffic stop in Brooklyn Center. Kim Potter facing a charge of second-degree manslaughter, appearing via Zoom today. Daunte Wright's parents watching the hearing. And here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos tonight.
Tonight, the parents of Daunte Wright watching as the former police officer who allegedly mistook her gun for a taser, killing their son, appeared for her first court hearing.
It's very hurtful to see she just sitting there.
The news media not allowed to record the feed. Kim Potter now facing a single charge of second-degree manslaughter, only responding yes to the judge's questions over Zoom. The Wright family describing their anguish.
You just left the Zoom hearing for Officer Potter. Mm-hmm. How did that feel to see her?
It hurt really bad. I have hatred, anger, sadness, There's so many emotions.
Potter, who resigned this week after 26 years on the Brooklyn Center force, released from jail overnight after posting a $100,000 bond. The criminal complaint alleging that while trying to arrest Wright for an outstanding warrant after a traffic stop over the weekend, Potter fired her gun instead of deploying her taser, hitting the 20-year-old once. This isn't the first time a police officer has allegedly mistaken their gun for a taser. Since 2001, there have been at least 13 similar instances. Only 2 convictions resulted from those cases.
The challenge for prosecutors here is going to be proving that she consciously took chances of causing death or great bodily harm. Consciously. Doesn't mean intended to do it.
My brother and my sister need this woman to be convicted. If we can have life, we want life. We gotta go life without him.
Former Officer Potter is out on bond, but is scheduled to be back in court next month. David.
Stephanie Ramos with us from Minneapolis again tonight. Thank you, Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we're gonna switch gears now and let's go into weather. And here's a look at your radar across the United States for this Friday. As you can see over here in Denver, there's some snow, and then over here there's some rain, Oklahoma City, parts of Dallas, and down here, rain as well. Then over here, some rain and snow as well, Albany and New Hampshire and Vermont. You're seeing snow in Boston and rain as well up here, and then snow in the middle, and then rain. Then it kind of goes into the ocean as well. Otherwise, other parts of the United States is fairly dry and okay. And that is a look at your weather across the United States for this Friday. And we're going to switch gears now. And let's get some financial tips from Shark Tank star Barbara. Here are your financial tips.
Backcountry, this is Hannah.
Hey, how breathable are the tanks and teas Backcountry makes?
Our next guest launched a real estate company with a $1,000 loan, and she turned it into a $5 billion business. Wow. It's that street smart savvy that made viewers fall in love with her as a shark on ABC's Shark Tank, and now on her new podcast, Business Unusual, where she uses that expertise and her life experience to help answer any and all business questions.
And she is answering some of our questions today and some viewer questions. There she is, business expert, real estate mogul, Barbara Corcoran. Always good to see you. And we want to remind people, you at some point had 22 jobs at some point in your life. Now, as you sit here now, what is maybe one of the biggest things you took away from an experience of having 22 jobs?
What I learned is that your boss is a lot more important in your happiness than the job you're doing.
And so today, it's all about business with Barbara, and we have some viewer questions for you. So I'll start with the first one. The housing market has been turned upside down during this pandemic. First-time buyers with good credit are being edged out by others making all-cash offers. So any advice for how to succeed in a seller's market?
All that is exactly true. You know, prices have jumped 15% in the last year alone. I've never seen that happen in my whole career in real estate. But because of that, there's a shortage of houses. So you've got to compete for the house you want. And not a lot of people are comfortable with competition because 6 out of 10 houses are sold at bidding wars. And that's what you're going to find. So I think to win that bidding war, you have to do 2 things. One, you have to get pre-approved for your financing before you go out shopping so that you can put your bid in as an all-cash bid. You've got the financing in your pocket. So you say, this is an all-cash bid. And secondly, you should waive the contingency that most buyers are comfortable with. And instead, hire a contractor. Just come in and see the house. He'll tell you what's wrong with it so you won't sign You wouldn't sign up for a clunker by accident, but waive that contingency. And the reason being is then you can put in your bid as an all cash, no contingency bid that sellers love, and you'll put your bid to the front of the line.
Wow.
The only way to win a house in this war.
All right. Well, next question here. Pandemic has left many on shaky financial ground. Barbara, how do you rebuild after disaster? What should we focus on first?
Well, remember, it's so hard to build wealth or to put yourself straight when you're stuck in a hole. And that's how people feel when they're in debt. So I think there are a few things you have to do. Number one, you should sit down and make a list of all your debts. You got to see what you're doing. You see who you owe the money to and how much you owe. It's not fun. Nobody likes to do it, but it's where you have to start. Number two, you have to pay off your high interest credit card first. That'll kill you that monthly interest that is interest on interest that eats you alive. Number three, you have to see really what you're spending your money on. And a lot of people don't pay attention to little things. But let me tell you, the little things like subscription, food deliveries, Amazon, all add up. So when you get a firm handle on that, you'll start to see where that money is just flying out the window. And then if you have multiple credit cards, you should go to a reputable company to consolidate your debt. And when I say reputable, you can Google search them, make sure the user reviews are excellent, or you could get in with the wrong crowd. But they will save you so much money on interest rates if you have multiple credit cards.
Always. Excellent advice. Barbara Corcoran, thank you so much for being with us, and congratulations on the new podcast. We'll urge everyone to get a lot more of Barbara's indispensable advice right there on that podcast. Again, it's called Business Unusual. And of course, catch Barbara on Shark Tank Friday nights right here on ABC.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts.
Okay, there you go. Awesome advice there. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into entertainment news. And in today's entertainment news, Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez call off their engagement. Let's take a listen to that video from Entertainment Tonight.
We are the first generation accustomed to the impossible.
Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez have called it quits.
We really have a special connection that way. He was amazing.
After a 2-year engagement and 4 years of dating, the couple confirmed their split in a statement obtained by ET, first reported by Today. Quote, "We have realized we are better as friends and look forward to remaining so. We will continue to work together and support each other on our shared businesses and projects." They added, quote, "We wish the best for each other and one another's children. Out of respect for them, the only other comment we have is to say thank you to everyone who has sent kind words and support."
I've learned so much from her in such a short period of time.
Prior to their split, multiple sources told ET on March 12th that the two had called off their engagement, with one source noting that the 45-year-old former baseball pro and the 51-year-old triple threat had decided their relationship, quote, had run its course. But one day later, a separate source told ET that the two were continuing their relationship and, quote, working through things, adding that, quote, no third party was involved.
I think we're very alike in many ways, and I think that's what makes it work. We complement each other in a beautiful way.
At the time, J-Lo even mocked the breakup headlines with this TikTok video.
I ain't worried about a blog or you dumb. Speaking on my moves like a snooze, you a snitch.
And A-Rod, he tagged Jennifer in this March 15th Instagram post, writing, "New week, new day, onward, upward." And on Wednesday, he shared this video on his Instagram story. You can hear Coldplay's Fix You playing as he films several framed photos with Jennifer and their kids. Another source later told ET that both Jennifer and Alex's kids wanted them to work things out. Of course, Jen shares 13-year-old twins Emmy and Max with her ex Mark Anthony, while Alex has 2 daughters, 16-year-old Natasha and 12-year-old Ella from his past relationship.
My girls adore Jennifer. She's a great role model. I'm the luckiest father in the world to be able to expose my beautiful daughters to someone as brilliant as Jennifer.
The source explained, quote, their kids have grown to be so close, and they are all hoping for the best.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. Thank you for watching this edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. Have a great rest of your Friday and a great rest of your day. And see you back here next time for another edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. Goodbye.